Namaskar, Namaste. Welcome to the Skanda Yoga practice with the energy of the red dragon, which initiates a new pattern, a new cycle of energy for the next 20 days, and encourages us to create a new pattern of being and to do things in a new way. So we're going to do a power vinyasa practice in a new way with an elevated big yoga wedge underneath the front of the mat to help us take pressure off of our wrists for vinyasas. We've got some yoga triangles that we'll be playing around with also, and some traditional yoga blocks. I'm going to do the unblock. I've got a yoga wedge, which I'm going to place at the back of my mat so I can push off of for standing poses to generate more strength. And I've got a traditional standard yoga belt that's 8 to 10 feet long. Use a towel for your mat, get it a little damp so you don't slide. Here we go. We're going to start off using the block to awaken our inner thighs. Inner thighs are the first principle. We start off with yoga asana. We want to draw into the midline, into the center, and then that allows us to synergistically engage our bandhas, Uddiyana and Mula Bandha. Squeezing into the block, engaging your adductors, roll your thigh bones in, back, and apart. Keep your thigh bones pushing back, and then squeeze into the block with more power and draw your belly in and scoop your tailbone. Out, rotate arms and shoulders, lifting hard up. And then rolling thighs in and back, squeezing into the block. Just go halfway forward, reaching hands down, and then squeeze into the block again. Inhale, rising up, outer rotating, pushing down through the heels, and then inner rotate the arms, inner rotating thighs. Keep squeezing in, using the strength of the thighs to bring you back up, to arch and curl. And then slowly back down, 2 more. Up, so we're waking our inner thighs to keep our thigh bones back so we can create space in our lower back so we can get deep, safe back bends through the practice. There we go. Just takes a few good reps. Take the block out. And then come to the front of the mat for Tadasana, mountain pose. Draw into the center like you were squeezing into a block. Draw your belly in, scoop tailbone. Shoulders up and back, slide jawbone back. Activate Ujjayi breath, breathing from the back of the throat with more focus. Deep breath in. Exhale, root down through the legs. Inhale, stretch up, like you were doing it for the first time ever. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen and curl, pushing thigh bones back and apart as you reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, step back. Down dog. Lengthen out a bit first, pushing thighs back, extending energy up through the hands. Down to the knees. Bend your arms, push your head up, keeping your shoulders lifting away from the mat. Slowly slide through. Rest your hips down and lift up for a high cobra. Tops of the feet down into the wedge, hand to push down into the elevated ramp, lifting shoulders up towards the ears, lengthening up and out of the hips. And then lower down, push back, downward facing dog. First dog, stretch it out. Bend one knee at a time, lengthen through calf muscles, deepening the victorious breath. Soma Chandrasana on the right. Step right foot up to the front of the mat. Point foot out to the right 45 degrees. And then taking hand to a block or to the edge of the ramp. Bend right knee deep, open heart. Take head back and curl. If you're going further, reach top arm behind the back, curling over the forearm. Taking head straight back to the tops of the shoulder blades. And then inhale, unwind. Step back to down dog. Come up to the knees. Curl in the upper back, shoulder blades flat on the back, slide forward, inhale, press up, pushing down to the tops of the feet, pushing hands down and pulling them back, and then lower down, push back, second side, left foot up, point foot out to the left, hand to the top of the thigh, bend the knee deep, open heart, open throat, head back and curl, and then take top arm behind the back, deepening twist. Inhale, unwind. Take the vinyasa. Knees, shoulder blades on the back, slide through, press up for a higher cobra. And then flow back, down dog. 5 deep breaths. Inhale, lifting arms up, shoulders up. Exhale, curl in the upper back, pushing thighs back. Bend knees, gaze up, step or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Squeeze into the center, root down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, samastiti. Pausing at the chakras, turning gaze back within. Deep breath in. Exhale, root down. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen and curl, opening up to the new. Exhale, step back. Down dog. Turbo dog, bend your elbows. Keeping knees off the floor. Slowly curl in the upper back, slide through. Inhale, press up. Exhale, flow back. 5 deep breaths here. Keeping the hands elevated on the ramp. Keep your arms and shoulders high so you don't collapse in the shoulder socket and stress rotator cuff muscles. Bend knees. Step or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Squeeze into the center. Root down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump. Down dog. Turbo dog. Push head up. Slide through. Exhale, flow back. Side angle pose. Step right foot up over the ramp. Snag a block or your triangle if you need it. Scoot tailbone forward, deep and twist. Left arm reaches. Back leg straight and strong. It's powered up. Lift the outer edge of the foot up, pushing down to the inner edge. Take the top of the thigh bone back. Keeping thigh bone rooting back. Draw belly in. Re-scoop tailbone and then take the outer edge of the foot back down. Pushing off the back leg. Bend your top arm. Push your head into the hand, curling more in upper back. And then step back. Down dog. Turbo dog. Slide through. Inhale, pressing up. Pulling hands back. Exhale, flow back. Step left leg up and over. Back foot flat. Belly in, scoop tailbone, deep and twist. Right arm reaches. Outer edge of the right foot up. Pushing down to the inner edge, take your hips back and apart. Keep hips widening back. Right thigh bone pushing back. Draw belly in. Re-scoop tailbone and then push off outer edge of the foot. Bending top arm. Hand on the head. Push head back. Pushing through right leg as you crank your head back. And then slowly release. Step back. Take a vinyasa. Down dog. Bend arms. Slide through. Pulling hands back, lifting up out of the hips. Exhale, flow back. Right foot up, warrior one pose. Snag a block. Sit at the back of the mat. And then placing your left heel on the block. Step right foot up. Right heel can be elevated on the forward ramp. Bowing forward, belly in, scoop tailbone. Both arms straight ahead. Draw arms back, slide jawbone back, take it overhead. Lift left thigh up, and push through back heel, bend right knee deep. A few more strong breaths. Create more stability. Firing up the left thigh, keep it squeezing into the midline. Pushing through back heel. Exhale, release, step back. Vinyasa. Second side. Right heel to the edge of the block. Step left foot up. Both hands to the forward thigh. Getting stability first. Bowing forward, belly in. Scoop tailbone. Both arms reach. Draw arms in. Shoulder blades flat on the back. Jawbone slides back. Take it all the way overhead. Bend forward knee. As you push through back heel. Exhale, release, step back. Get the Vinny. Right leg lifts again. Lean forward in a plank this time. Lower halfway down. Push back strong. Right foot up. Left heel to the edge of your block. This time take left hand to the back leg. Right hand to the forward thigh. Bowing forward slightly. Belly in, scoop tailbone, push your left thigh up into the hand, and then draw right arm in, slide jawbone back, take it overhead, keeping left thigh pushing up, bend your right arm, hand behind the head, push your head back, curl the upper back, using the strength of the neck, to curl more in the thoracic and the cervical vertebrae. Exhale, release, Vinyasa. Side, right heel to the edge of the block, left foot up. Both hands to the thigh. Right hand to the back leg. Belly in, scoop tailbone, pushing right thigh up into the hand. Left arm reaches, draw left arm in. Take it overhead, and then bend left knee. Keep the gaze up. Right thigh lifting up, bend top arm. Hand behind the head, crank it back. Exhale, release. Step back, Vinyasa. Flip back, brief child's pose. And then let's use our belt and do another one. Block out of the way. Snag your belt. And we're going to loop it through left leg. You want to loop the back of the hamstring and then pass the belt through. You're not going to thread it back. You're just going to pull it straight through to your left. So you want to tighten about like the top third of the thigh, right at the midpoint, and then you want to pass it back through the legs. So your right foot up again, left foot wiggles back, and then pass the belt overhead. Now, when I pull up on my hands, that lifts my back thigh up and it inner rotates the thigh, creating space in the lower back. Belly in, I scoop tailbone, and then I push off the back leg like I was pushing into a block. And I keep my hands pulling up, curling the upper back. Inhale, I lift up. Side body is long, lifting up out of the hips. Exhale, walk the hands down and go a little deeper. Inhale, lift up. Creating more stability, more strength in the back leg. Exhale, more expansion. Exhale, release, step back, Vinyasa. Flip back, second side. Just thread it through again if you have your loop. So when you pull it through, it should pull to the right and pass it back through. So it goes between the legs. Right foot up, left foot up, right foot wiggles back. Inhale, power up back leg, pushing down through the ball of the foot. Pull your hands up, lift right thigh up, roll it in, and then bend left knee deep. Inhale, build more strength, lift your thigh up, inner rotating. Keep it lifting. Exhale, curling the upper back, bending left knee. More deep breaths. And take a Vinny. Vinyasas on the right, side arm balance pose. You can use your ramp, placing the forearm on the ramp, hands flat on the floor. Discard the belt if you don't need it. Rocking onto the right outer edge of the foot. Inhale, arch up. Optional foot into tree or reaching for big toe here. Step it back, wild thing, Kamakarasana. Lower your foot down, lower hips down, and then scoop tailbone high. Lift and curl. If you're in deep, reach overhead, clasp hands. Push head up into the top arm. And then switch. Flow through, Vinyasa. Right foot up, side angle pose again. Let's take the ball of the foot to the edge of the ramp this time. Scoop tailbone. Now I can push down strong through the ball of the foot so much I can lift my right heel off the floor. My left foot's pushing off into the wedge. And then left hand to the hip. Bow to the heart, right heel down. Squeeze your legs towards each other. Firing inner thighs. Keep your right thigh pushing back into the hamstrings. Drop belly in, scoop tailbone. Outer rotate the thigh. Push off strong to the ball of the foot, into the edge of the elevated ramp. So left arm up. Left arm parallel. Bend top arm. Keep pushing through the back leg. Bend. Curling in the upper back, pushing head back. Release Ardha Chandra. Slide your right foot back an inch or so. Left leg up parallel. If you're going further, knee to the chest, reaching for the foot for Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Twist, hybrid Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand down. Inner rotate. Lift leg, pull right thigh and hip back. Take right arm up. Towards the floor, no twist. Reach for inner edge of the foot. Keep left knee squeezing into the center. Kick your leg back, push your head up. And both hands down, standing split. Prasarita, Ekapada. Take a Vinyasa. If it's in your practice, you can kick to a handstand or a forearm stand. If you want to play around, you've got an elevated ramp, place your forearms on the ramp. Hands flat to the floor. This will accelerate your momentum going forward, so lightly kick.
looking straight down between the hands, and then push your head up so you don't fall over. Squeezing legs tight into the center. And then second side. Left foot up. To the edge of your forward ramp. Right foot to the back ramp. Wedge. Using a block or triangle for the left hand. Belly in, scoop tailbone. Push out through both feet. Pushing down through left foot, lifting left heel. Tree Kona, bow to the heart, squeezing legs together. Quads lifting, kneecaps lifting. And belly in, scoop tailbone. Out, rotate forward leg, take right arm up. Right arm parallel. Bend top arm. Pushing off to the right foot. Lean onto the left hand, push your head back, making a back bend. And slowly release, slide left foot back. Step up, Ardha Chandra, hold it here, keeping both legs straight and strong. If you're going further, knee to the chest, reaching for the foot. Straight back. Ardha Chandra. In rotate, lifting leg, outer rotate, standing leg, pulling hip back, lengthen out of the hip, and then twist. Take the arm straight up. Keeping legs squeezing into the center. Bend it. Keeping knees squeezing in, push your head up, curl the upper back, and then kick your foot back. Standing split. Optional kick to an inversion. Your ramp if you want to play around and do it in a new way. If you have balance, do some mini vinyasas. Inhale, leaning forward, like you're going to kiss your fingers, and then push your chest back and away. Release. Down dog. Take a vinyasa. Another way to do the vinyasas is to place the triangles over the ramp and take the edge of the ramp, edge of the hands over the edge of the triangle. This prevents hyperextension in the wrist and helps to pad the wrist for the vinyasas. So now you can lean forward into a plank pose and go straight down, no discomfort in the wrists. Inhale, rest up. Tops of the thighs can rest on the elevated ramp if you have it. Lifting up out of the hips, you can do a supported, elevated high cobra or up dog. And float back. Down dog can be done with the hands on tops of the triangles to keep the arms and shoulders even higher. Take less stress out of the shoulders and put more of the engagement into the legs. Right foot up, down side angle. First locate your block. Place your block about the midpoint of the mat. Step right foot up. Heel can be on the slightly elevated on the ramp. Go for the clasp. Right arm under, left arm behind the back. Use a towel or strap if you need it. work a supported Ekapada Vinyasana 2 pose. Using the triangles for the hands to support the wrists. Use the block to support the back thigh. So we'll pivot it slightly to the side. And wiggling the right foot up and out to the right. Set hands, keeping right elbow wide underneath the leg. And then lean forward onto the block and lift both feet up. Keeping shoulders lifting away from the floor. And then step back. Snag a block between the inner thighs. Take a vinyasa. Squeezing into the block as you lift and curl. Here, if you have triangles, you can even push your forearms down into your triangles, like you're going to take your hands off of the floor to lift up more out of the hips. Creating side bodies long, creating space between the vertebrae. Lower down. Push back. Second side. Left foot up. Going for the clasp. Left arm under. Right arm behind the back. Arm balance. Set your triangles to the right thigh. Leaning onto the block. Left foot slides out to the side. Lean forward. Lifting left foot, right foot. And step back. Snap the block, midline. Back, down dog. Wide leg stance. Perpendirasana. Take legs wide. Turn your feet out to the sides, heels in. Knees apart, sink into it, push right knee away, turning right shoulder in, gaze over left shoulder, into a slight twist. Switch. Clasp elbows, belly in, rib cage in, go lower, go deeper, and then take arms overhead. Squeezing arms in, belly in, squeeze rib cage in. Shankarasana, toes forward, heels back, halfway forward. Release, hands down, lengthen, exhale, go wide, go deep, you can play your edge. Taking forearms to the floor, forearms to triangles or to blocks. Feet pushing down, clamping down into the floor. Leg muscles squeezing in, up towards the hips. Just the triangles or your blocks, rock your hands back, elevate the feet. Pushing your arms into your inner thighs, go a little longer, a little deeper. The block's behind you, you can even sit on the block. And then rock forward, coming onto the inner edges of the feet again. Pushing down through your inner edges of the feet, Engaging inner thighs, slowly lower outer edges of the feet down. And then heel toe in. Dun, dun, dun. Bakasana. If you have your ramp and triangle, play around a little, taking your triangles over the ramp. Come to squatting on the ramp, taking knees wide. You can hold it right here, releasing lower back, reaching hands back and down. Go a little bit deeper, release more in the outer hips and the lower back. And take your chest down. And then hands forward over the edge of the triangles. You can hold it here, squeezing your knees in, lifting one foot up, other foot up, or lift your feet up onto the triangles and get a little bit higher. And lift one foot up, squeezing it into the center. 3, 2, 1, switch feet, other foot. 3, 2, 1. Both feet up. And then step or jump back. Mini Vinny, sliding through. Pushing forearms down into the triangles, lifting up out of the hips. And lower down. Child's pose. Let's do it with our props. Place the triangles back into your knee pits. Take the wedge, place it underneath the feet, so this takes pressure off the tops of the feet and ankles. The wedges prevent hyperflexion of the knee. And then we can use a block, placing it across our abdomen, our chest, or the top of the head so we don't collapse all the way down, which can potentially stress hip flexor muscles. So here I'm keeping my head, neck aligned with the floor. I'm not over collapsing, I'm not straining my hip flexors, I'm not straining my knees or my ankles. One arm, auspicious pose, laying on the belly. Right arm out to the right. Palm face up, rock over onto the hip and the shoulder. You can use your forward ramp as a pillow. And reach left arm back, shifting hips in. Here you can use your triangles to help you out, get a little bit deeper. If you're tight, you can place the triangle behind you to give you a little bit of support. If you're more flexible, or you want to go even deeper, place your triangle hip that's closest to you, to the right hip, and then when I lower the right hip down, it's immediately going to shift my weight over to the left hip, taking both sitting bones down and more of my upper body over my extended arm. And switch. Slide the triangle out. Left arm out, rock over. Hips in. Hips elevated. Use the triangle, you can support the hip you're going towards. Leaning into the triangle. To accelerate the opening, place the triangle underneath the opposite hip. Slowly lower left hip down, shift over to the right, deepening, opening. And slowly
Release. 1 foot bow pose. Slide forward. So you're in a supported Sphinx pose with your edge of your ramp supporting the lower floating rib cage. So if I was to lift my arms up, I'm still supported in an arch, and I don't really have to use my arms for support. Now we're going to reach one hand back, right hand back to the outer edge of your right foot. Left hand to the corner of the mat, kick your right leg back. Out, rotate left arm, big gaze up. And switch. Kick back, lift up. Down. Let's do full bow. And get even more support from our triangles. Place the triangles over on the edge of the ramp. Now I can get even higher without having to use my arms for support. Now I can reach both feet back, or both hands back for both feet. And kick back. And then release. Push back. Perpendirasana, Kapotasana. See the forward wedges out. One foot, king, pigeon pose. Let's use our block first. So if you have tight hips, you can elevate the block super high like this, 4 inches or maybe just 2.5 inches. Have it slightly angled in, and then you can rest your outside of your right thigh on the block. Now, if it feels like you can go deeper, then use your triangles. Get the block out of the way, using the triangle like this, supporting the right thigh. Other triangle comes in and wedges into the back leg, so it creates that inner rotation, creating space in the lower back, and then lift up out of the hips and curl. And release, folding forward. You can use a block, resting forehead on the block, or stack fists up. Vinyasas, Dolphin Post. Second side. Left knee up wide, resting outer edge of the thigh on the triangle or on the block. Push your opposite triangle, push it into the back leg so the thigh moves into the midline, the center of the mat, and inner rotates. You can use your wedge of the back for the back foot, pushing down into the floor, and lift and curl. Take it forward. Let's do another one. This time, snag your beltage. Place it behind that left ankle. Right knee up wide. Use your props if you need them. Slide left leg in. And back. Lift and curl. And then reach for the strap. Keep your left foot on the floor, kicking down. Keep your foot flexed. Right knee stays pushing down so the hip stays squared. Forward. And then pull up on your strap, just like we did for the opening warrior. Pull up, lengthening side body, and then exhale, curl. Take head back, walk your hands back. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, go a little deeper. And then slowly release. Lean forward. Push your right knee more to the right. Lean right hip down. Take your hands to the foot. Pull yourself across towards the foot. And release. Switching legs. Swing left leg up. Strap opposite foot. Left leg up, right leg back. Curl. Take right foot flex, kick it down. Take it overhead. And help pulling up on the strap, side body's long. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, take it further. And then release, fold forward, pull foot up. Pull yourself across. Release, get rid of the strap. Sitting, half fish pose. Snag your wedge. Sitting on the wedge to create more forward tilt in the pelvis. Left leg can be straight, crossing right leg over. More flexible, fold your bottom leg in. Crossing right leg over. Most likely the right hip will lift up off the mat. So shift to the left an inch or two, and then lean back to the right. Arch up, make it across. Use a block or triangle for your back hand pushing down. Lift up out of the hip, and then deepen twist. Inhale, untwisting. Lengthening, rising up. Exhale, deepening twist. Twist. Switch. Right leg in. Cross the left leg over. Shift hips to the right side of the bottom leg. Back to the left. Reaching up, taking across. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, deepen twist. Twist, switch, go Mukasana. This time pull foot all the way across, lean forward, push your knee all the way over. And then you can sit on a block or use your triangle and lean onto the triangle first, and then that'll slowly shift your weight over to your right hip. Ideally taking both sitting bones down to the floor. You can hold it right here, hooking big toes. Getting the hip opener in, maintaining arch in the lower back, or work a shoulder opener. Taking right arm behind the back, left arm overhead. Work a P and F technique. Pulling the strap apart first for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Choke up on it. Reach a little bit higher on the strap. Bring your hand a little bit higher, and then
Resist again, pulling the strap apart for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then choke up, make it tighter. Pulling up on the bottom arm, slowly begin to fold forward. And then back up. Switch. Right leg in. Cross left leg over. Making it tight. Take a triangle or a towel or a wedge to the side of your right hip and then slowly lower your weight down onto the triangle so it shifts you to the opposite side. Taking both sitting bones down. If it stays elevated, you can use support of the other triangle. Placing it there and then hold the arch. Shoulder opener. Pull apart first, working on PNF. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, resisting, building strength of the muscles that you're going to stretch. And then pull it in, take it a little deeper. Resist again, pulling apart for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it a little deeper. And release. And slowly pull forward. Strap still as you pull forward. And then back up. Vinyasa. On the triangles. Setting edge of your wrists over the triangle so you're in a half supported ridge stop position. Down dog, here, forearms stay elevated, so I'm not collapsing in the shoulders. Plank, heart descends, inhale, rise up. Feet hands down and back, feet pushing down and pulling in. Exhale, flow back. Optional inversion time. You want to take a moment, kick up at the wall for a handstand or a forearm stand. Sitting for a supported Agni Skambhasana, fire log pose. You can sit on your wedge or sit on a block if you need to be higher so that you can get a forward anterior tilt of your pelvis. Bringing your left ankle across and down. Right ankle is going to come across. If you're normal, this is what it will most likely look like, with the knee elevated. From here, we're going to arch first, taking the knee and push it away. And then we're going to support forward leg so we don't stress the knee. You can place a block underneath you. Place a triangle on top of the block. Slowly being the bow towards the elevated foot. You can place the triangle here so your foot stays flexed and pushing down into your triangle. You don't collapse like this. So the ankle stays straight, shin stays straight, and the knee, and then bow towards your foot and start to release your lower back. And pull against your foot, slowly moving your chest towards the center. Release. And switch sides. Right leg in. Left ankle on top. Arch up. Push the knee down and away. Start to fold forward using the block, triangle on top of the block, other triangle underneath the foot, so the foot stays active. Start to bow towards the foot. So here we're using the support of the props to let the body progressively relax into the position. Whenever we go into a pose that we don't habitually hold throughout the day, the nervous system will send a message to your GTOs, your Golgi tendon organs, to contract the muscle fascia that surrounds your tendons so that it limits you from going to your full potential so you don't overstretch and get injured. But if you support yourself, if you do it mindfully, intelligently, either through conscious engagement of the muscles through muscle energy or support of the props, then we can progressively retrain the nervous system. Here, see if you can eliminate the block and just use triangles. Moving forward. Switch again, back up. And let's go one more time. And push it in, make it tight, let your ankle hanging off the edge of the thigh. So that you can lock it off with your pinky toe. So you'll use your arm pushing away from you and pushing the leg down into the triangle. Release. Last time. In. Pinky toe flexed. Arm pushing down into the shin, into the triangle, slowly resting more of your body weight over the leg. And then back up. Buddhist Konasana, seated wide angle. Put your sitting bones. Sure wedge if you need it, or roll up a towel, a blanket, or use a small bolster. Take your legs wide. And then bending the legs, use your triangles and place them underneath your hamstrings. Just on the edge. So that when you start to lean forward, you'll tilt the wedge behind you, tilting pelvis forward, that rolls your thighs in, and then push your thigh bones down into the triangles, and then it'll give you more, something to push down into to create more strength. Keeping toes flexed, pulling back, slowly begin to fold forward, keeping your arms elevated. If you place hands on the block. That'll remind you to keep your shoulders lifting and don't collapse and immediately round your lower back. You want to maintain extension of the spine as long as you can, keeping head pushing up, legs pushing down, slowly sliding legs, hands forward, keeping head pushing up, building strength as you go deeper. Start to twist, resting right forearm on the floor, or maybe on a block. Twist, reaching left arm overhead, attempting to reach for the foot. You can use your towel or strap if you need it. Switch. Back up, fold forward one more time. Readjust your triangles. Arching up. Slowly fold forward. Back up. Perpendirasana. The support of the triangles. Place them underneath your shins. Take your left hand behind you, right hand to the knee. Push your right knee down, lift up, twist knee to the left, and hinging jaw. Stretching outside the neck. Switch. Back to center. Arch up. You can hold it right here if you have enough sensations, or start to fold forward. If there's stress in the knee, slide your feet forward. You can slide your triangles a little further out if you're going deeper, or just sliding out all the way if you're flexible, if your knees touch the floor. Keep your feet flexed, actively pushing down into the floor. Hands trying to lift your feet up off the floor. Move your waistline forward towards your feet. Inhale up, arch up, head back. Double arm hero pose, flip hands. Hook one elbow in, hook the other elbow in, release your jaw, slowly squeeze in. Release, hands back, arch up. And then come onto your back. Rock around a little side to side. Snag a block, place it between the inner thighs. Squeeze into the center, snag another block, lift it up, place it underneath your sacrum. Stay squeezing in lightly. Arms and shoulders stay pushing down for a supported yet engaged, half supported bridge pose. And lift hips, slide the block out. And let's go all the way up. Perpendirasana. You can take hands overhead on blocks or on edges of your triangles. Take pressure off the wrists to create more openings for the shoulders. Take the back end more into the upper back and out of the lower back. Arch your lower back first, and then draw belly in. Scoop tailbone, lift your hips up, walk your shoulder blades in, and then slide onto the top of the head. You can bring the Hands in, take them a little wider, curl forward, and then go all the way up. Crank out some push-ups if it's available. Rest. Back up. Side hands. Arch. Uddiyana, Mula Bandha. Shoulder blades in. Crown of the head. Bring it in. Curl forward, go up. Rest down. Red Dragon Day. We gotta get it in. Not the Raja. The dance of creation. The Tandava. The ecstatic dance of Lord Shiva, representing creation, sustainment, dissolution, concealment, and revelation. Just go ahead and open up your belt all the way. The bigger the belt, the better. Wrap it around a couple fingers. Step your left foot over, trap the top of your right ankle, and then squeeze your thighs together, your knees together, and then pivot overhead. Midline first, so it goes back to the beginning of the class. Kick down, squeezing into the center, lightly kicking your foot down, draw your belly in, scoop tailbone, and then kick down more, engaging more muscle energy, and start to bow forward, walking your hands down the strap. Back upright, kick back, push your hands up, creating a forward extension of your spine, and then walk hands further back, go a little bit deeper. Arms and shoulders move back as your foot kicks back. And then slowly release. Seconds up. Step foot over. Inner thighs and knees squeeze together. Trap it overhead. Midline first. Bandha's on. Uddiyana. Mula Bandha. Holding the engagement. Connecting lower body to upper body. And then add muscle energy. Kicking back strong through your foot. Push your hands up towards the ceiling. Start to curl forward. Back upright. Kick back. Walk it in. Pushing hands up as you tilt forward. And arms and shoulders moving behind you. Jawbone sliding back, slowly taking gaze up. And then release. Let's do it again. So much fun. Do it from the side. Stepping left foot over. Trapping right ankle. Midline. Uddiyana, Mula Bandha, muscle energy. Oh, the dance. Start to the side and ended up to the back. Here we go. Second side last time. Midline, Uddiyana, Mula Bandha. Creating alignment with our intention, sustaining it with breath, energy, and awareness.
Dissolving it with counter pose. Seek balance or vinyasa. The concealment is the forgetfulness. Getting caught up in Maya, the illusion. Coming back into the play, the sport of God is the Leela. The revelation. Oh, and then slowly release. Plank your strap. Come onto your back for a Viparita Karani supported with your triangles. And then maybe a shoulder stand. Move on to the back. Angle your triangles in. Put your hips up. Slide your triangles underneath. Your legs straight up. Hold it here. Take legs overhead, lift your hips, hands holding hips. Shoulder stand, work shoulder blades in. Plow pose. Your pressure pose. Alright, the needle pose. Slowly unroll. Triangles out of the way. Press your right ankle on top. Your belt nearby if you need it. Reaching right arm through the center. Clasping behind left leg, kick away, arch first, and then round, pull it in. And extend the leg straight. Reach for the foot or strap the foot. Take it overhead. Leg tighter to the chest. Foot towards the floor as the hips lean back towards the floor. So you're balancing on the midpoint of the back. For upward, 1 foot, diamond, prep, pose. And then switch. Suchin Randrasana. The needle first, clasping, resisting, arching. And then round. Bring that in. Extend the leg straight. Reach for the calf, the ankle over the foot. Take it overhead. And slowly release. Happy baby. Baby cradle. Baby cradle right leg first. Bringing it into your left elbow crease. Right knee into the right elbow crease. And put your elbow over and push your knee away. You can't have the clasp, just hold the foot and push the knee away just like this. And another hip opener. Switch. So your wedge. Place your wedge an inch high apart underneath the, closer towards you, underneath your sacrum. And then bend your knees out to the side. For Sutta Vinyasas, flexing feet, arching lower back, pull your knees down towards the floor. Put your arms over maybe, get a little bit more pressure, pushing down and increasing arch. Pubic bone descends, tailbone ascends, initiating engagement of Mula Bandha. Down, slide your wedge out, hold the right foot for half
Happy baby, leaning to the right, push right knee down. Lift up, attempt to bring the head towards the foot. Switch. Both legs. Walking arms over if you're going deeper, feet towards the head. Twist to the right, both knees across. Place a block between the knees if you have a herniated disc in your lower back, so you don't over twist. Arm out to the side or to the rib cage. Twist to the opposite side. Right hand to the right rib cage or out to the side. Back up. Cross left leg over, twist to the right again. Twist to the left last time. So right leg over. Resting right knee on the block, keeping left leg hovering off the floor. And release. Shavasana. Set yourself up. Using triangles. Using blocks. Use the wedge as a pillow. Straight. Reaching arms long overhead. Go to the right. Comfortable sitting, meditation posture. Take a moment. Check back in. Namaskar, namaste. Salutations and blessings to you. Sat Nam.